In this lecture, we would be exploring the different types of experimental errors. At the end of these lectures, viewers would be able to define the term error and then state the types of error under the following: systematic error, random error, personal error, zero error, indeterminate error, and then we consider some question and answers. Before we continue, I still want to remind you about our upcoming quiz competition that takes place every first Saturday of every new month. And next month, the quiz competition is going to take place on 7th of September, and the time is 11 p.m. The venue is live here on YouTube, and I want to say that you too can be celebrated just as every other contestants and subscribers were celebrated. Let's get started. The first question here says, what is experimental error? Experimental error simply refers to the variation or deviation in measurement or result that may result during an experiment, even when the experiment is repeated under the same condition. It is a natural part of any experimental process and can arise from various sources such as instrumental error, human error, and environmental error. So the term experiment or experimental error simply refers to as those deviations, variations that occur during measurement. And these variations could be as a result of the fault of that instrument. It could be as a result of the human nature, or it could be as a result of the physical environment in which the person is doing that very experiment. We are going to look at key terms, and under these key terms, we are going to consider the types of error in terms of systematic error and random error. When we talk about systematic error, we could as well call it the constant error. So another name for systematic error is the constant error. And then an example is the zero error. And then we also have the random error. If we don't call it random error, we call it statistical error. And an example is the indeterminate error. I'm going to explain those types of errors one after the other. Let's take the first one, systematic error. So systematic error is basically a type of error that consistently occurs in the same direction every time a measurement is taken. These are often due to improperly calibrated instruments or consistent mistake by the experimenter. Systematic error can usually be corrected once it is identified. So these are the characteristics of a systematic error, and we are made to understand that they are error that is due to improperly calibrated instruments or consistent mistake by the experimenter. Let's look at the next one, personal error. It is a type of systematic error which is caused by mistakes or blunders made by the experimenter, such as incorrect reading of instrument that you've seen the value but you didn't take it correctly, falls under this category. Poor measurement and techniques, misalignment due to parallax error. Number 3, zero error. Zero error is a type of systematic error that occurs when instruments or the instrument 0 point is incorrectly calibrated. that an instrument is supposed to be pointing at 0 point and you didn't even look at it, the thing may have been pointing at either the negative side or the positive side, and you begin to use that very instrument for measurement. There is bound to be error in that measurement. So the type of systematic error that occur when an instrument's 0 point is incorrectly calibrated. This can cause all subsequent measurements to be either too high or too low. Look at this instrument and look at the pointer. If you consider the first figure, let me pick my pen. This is the 0 point. But this pointer is not pointing exactly at the 0 point. It's already pointing at where you have 0.1. This is positive 0 error. Now, this is the 0 point, but this pointer is already pointing behind the 0, so already it is not accurate. So if you are now using this kind of instrument to take reading, you are bound to experience what they mean by 0 error. In this case, we have here negative 0 error. This one is positive 0 error. The next one is the random error. So another name for random error is the statistical error. So the random error is that error that varies in an unpredictable manner. They can arise from unknown or uncontrollable variables like environmental conditions or slight variations in the measuring process or in the measurement process. Random error cannot be eliminated but can be minimized by taking multiple measurements and averaging of the results. So that's why whenever we are taking reading, we take the first one, take the second one. Probably if we have time, we can take the third one and then we take the average. We do that to minimize this kind of error. So random error is also called indeterminate error. In case you come across a word like indeterminate error, it still means the same thing as random error. Parallax error. It is a type of personal error that occurs when the observer's eye is not positioned directly in line with the measurement or the measuring scale, causing the reading to be higher or lower than the true value, the parallax error. I'm going to show you a picture explaining this parallax error. Now look at the position we have here. This person wants to measure this object, and this object is about 6.2 centimeter. You look at this at eye level. So you now see this position on green. This is the correct position you can place your eye to take the correct and exact reading of this object. Now, if somebody stands at this very angle to take the reading, you will still see something, but in this case we have 6.0 centimeters. So this person who is standing here takes a reading still from this meter rule and gets 6.0. The person who is looking at this at eye level sees 6.2 centimeter, and the person below here still looking at the same thing sees 6.5 centimeter. So you now see that any position you find yourself whenever you are doing an experiment, you are bound to get something, but you will not get it correctly. That's a kind of error called the parallax error. I'm still going to show you the parallax error in terms of, okay, let's say you were using the meter here to measure volume, and if you're taking the volume from either the pipette or the burette or any other instrument that measures volume, look at it at eye level. So if you're looking at it at eye level, you get the correct position. But if you are looking at it from above, you will still get something, but that thing would be wrong. Or if you're looking at it from below, you still get something, but that thing will still be wrong. So looking at it at eye level gives you the correct value. Any error that arises as a result of wrong positioning of the eye is simply the parallax error. I'm still going to continue, but I want to remind you that if you are watching us for the first time and you have not yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button. When you do that, it will appear to be subscribed. The reason why you have to subscribe is so that you get regular notification whenever we upload our new post. And you are our subscriber. I want to say thank you. If you are watching this video and you enjoy it, please endeavor to click on the like button. Thank you very much. Let's continue. Systematic errors are typically caused by, these are multiple questions to test our understanding on what we have just read. So the first one says, systematic errors are typically caused by A. Personal mistakes, B. Unpredictable fluctuations, C. Faulty instruments or improper calibration, D. Random environmental factors. Systematic errors are typically caused by, the correct option is C. Faulty instruments or improper calibration. Number 2. Which word best expresses personal errors? Which word best expresses personal error? A. Systematic error, B. Observer's mistake, C. Zero error, D. Both A and B. The correct option to this question is option B, the observer's mistake. Which word best expresses personal error? So systematic has to do with the fault in that very system. Even the zero error is a kind of systematic error, and even the last option D still looks at A and C, which is not the correct option. Okay, let's move forward. Question number 3. This other one says, a systematic error can be corrected by A. Making repeated measurements using a better calibrated instrument, applying statistical techniques, reducing personal bias. The correct option is B, using a better calibrated instrument. The next one says, zero error in a meter leads to, zero error in a meter can lead to, number 1, leads to personal error, random error, systematic error, indeterminate error. So zero error can lead to which of the following here? The correct option is option C, systematic error. So zero error is still a kind of systematic error. Parallax errors typically occur. Parallax error typically occur when a meter stick is used at an angle the experimenter does not align their eye with the scale. The measurement or the measurement instrument is outdated. D. The temperature fluctuates during an experiment. The correct option is B. Parallax error typically occurs when the experimenter does not align their eye with the scale. Indeterminate error is another name for zero error, personal error, random error, systematic error. The correct option is option C, random error. Which type of error is associated with an instrument's 0 point being incorrectly set? A. Parallax error. B. Zero error. C. Random error. D. Personal error. The correct option to this question is option B, zero error. The question said which type of error is associated with an instrument's 0 point being incorrectly set. We have discussed that earlier. This one says systematic error can be caused by A. Faulty instruments, B. Incorrect data entry, C. Personal mistakes in measurement, D. All of the above. The correct option to this question is option A. So systematic error can be caused by faulty instruments. An error that remains the same each time a measurement is repeated is most likely random error, systematic error, human error, indeterminate error. The correct option is B, systematic error. So an error that remains the same each time a measurement is repeated is most likely a systematic error. Random errors are also known as statistical error, systematic errors, personal errors, zero errors. The correct option there is option A. Random errors are also known as statistical error. Thank you for watching our channel Supreme Online Lectures. Please, I want you to still subscribe to this channel. I hope to see you in our next lecture. Have a wonderful day. Bye.